Thanks for tuning in and welcome to the Post Route Show. And now, here's your host, W. Earl Kitchings.
And good evening and welcome to another edition of the Post Route, the show where we dive deep into conversations with Black quarterbacks, both past and present. I'm your host, W. Earl Kitchings, and this show is proudly brought to you by Quarter Phi Back, the preeminent fraternity of Black quarterbacks and home of our prestigious BIP Memorial Trophy, the only national award that honors the top Black quarterback from historically Black colleges and universities and the top Black quarterback from high schools across America. We're always excited to have you join us on our Monday night show. And if you enjoy our content, if you enjoy what we're saying on Instagram, if you like any and everything we're doing, please help us out. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And most importantly, start getting into our Instagram pages for more information and more video clips sometimes of our past and current members of our organization and ones we will be bringing in to our show. Join us live every Monday night at 7 o'clock for more phenomenal conversations. Before I get to our guest tonight, this week, if you don't know, then you're not a real football fan, because starting Wednesday night, prime time, it's the 2026 NFL Draft. From Wednesday to Friday, the draft will go on, and it will be reaching out to make the selection for the 2026 class of collegiate athletes who will try to make the respective teams that they're being drafted for. In doing some research, we have looked at the fact that they are publicizing about 12 quarterbacks projected for the 2026 draft in rounds 1 through 7. And like in 2025, only 2 of those guys are Black quarterbacks. So we're going to keep our eye out on them. Taylor Green, quarterback from Arkansas, projected 5th round. Jalen Daniels, University of Kansas, projected 6th round. Those are the 2 Black quarterbacks that we know of that are projected to go, but we never know who the coaches or the general managers or who the decision makers are looking at and giving some credence to be a part of their draft and possibly to earn a position on their roster for 2026. As we have seen probably over the last 5 to 8 years, more Black quarterbacks are coming into the league. More Black quarterbacks are showing that they have the abilities, both physically and most importantly, mentally, to be the guys capable of directing teams on Sundays into the playoffs, into the Super Bowl. So we're going to keep up to see who makes this year's draft. Of course, a few years ago, there were 4 quarterbacks drafted in the first round. In the first 10 picks, there were 4 quarterbacks, Black quarterbacks selected. And we're keeping our eyes set on where they're going and how well they're doing. So we're going to keep you in note. Come next Monday, we'll let you know what happens to Taylor Green and Jalen Daniels and any other Black quarterbacks that make the NFL draft their new destination. But getting to our guest tonight, man, this guy is quite a phenom. He is a rising star in the state of South Carolina. He is definitely going to be on the purview of many of the analysts who are looking at quarterbacks in the class of like 2031, 2032. He hails from Columbia, South Carolina, playing football for Heathwood Hall Middle School. Please check out check out these clips of our guest tonight as we get ready to welcome him into the studio. You gotta love it. Yeah, he's just in the 7th grade. Please welcome our guest tonight to the Post Route from Heathwood Hall, Mr. Eli Mosby. Eli, welcome to the Post Route.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Yes, indeed. Man, let me tell you, you look so good throwing that football and running that football. Which one do you prefer better, running or throwing?
A little bit of both.
Okay. You gotta love guys when they give you. Yeah, I love both of them. It doesn't matter to me. Do you ever sense that some guys are afraid to tackle you based on your size in some of the games?
I haven't really thought about that, sir.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna ask you the other question. How many guys have you trucked in this past season? Because I know you hit some guys.
I like to stay humble, sir.
Okay. All right. So now tell us a little bit about your path in football. So how long you been playing football?
Since I was 5 years old, sir.
Okay. And have you always been the quarterback or you play some other position?
No, sir. I've always been a quarterback. So I started out as a center. Then my old coaches, Coach Samaj, he helped me develop some of that speed, that strength. And then eventually I started playing tight end, running back. And then one of my old youth coaches, Coach Bo, he saw like my ability to throw the ball. So I guess that's why. So he moved me to the quarterback position. And then my trainers, Coach Vaughn and Coach Ramon, who I'm training with now, helped me improve those skills as a quarterback so far.
Okay. And I would say that you are definitely a dual threat quarterback. And,
thank you, sir.
And because of that dual threat, what are some of the things you like to work on with your trainers and your coaches to help improve your skills and abilities?
I would definitely say throwing on the run, because that comes like useful in like a lot of situations. Moving in the pocket, that certainly helps. And yeah, in my opinion, those are like the most two important.
Okay. Now you told me earlier that one of the things that you are slowly working on to get better at or develop better is your flexibility. What are some of the exercises or some of the things that you do to help become a more flexible quarterback?
I practice my running ability. I play multiple sports, which kind of helps. For example, like wrestling will help me with like maneuvering around different defenders. Helps me with my physical flexibility and a bit of my speed. And in track, I do throwing. So that would help me with like generating more force while I'm throwing the ball.
Now, Eli, I got to tell you, man, you're probably the first quarterback that I've ever met that said he was on the wrestling team and was a wrestler. I don't think I've ever met a guy who played the position of quarterback, who was a wrestler. What made you go into wrestling?
My mom made me do it, but I liked it.
Okay. I'm not going to ask the obvious question because it almost sounds like, you know, the two of you kind of wrestle at times. So I don't even want to ask that question because I don't want to hear that, you know, you're beating your mom up. But why do you think she wanted you to go into wrestling?
I think it's because it helps you mainly with your endurance and your aggressiveness. Because in wrestling, you can't just like stall the whole match. You have to move. You have to do something. And I guess in the football field, especially on defense, that helps a lot.
So what weight class do you wrestle at?
175.
Okay. Now, how many matches have you done this past year in wrestling?
I would say roughly around 30, 35.
Oh my goodness, that many? Oh
yes,
my
sir.
goodness. Oh, wow. Okay. Now, with you doing all that extra work in flexibility and strength and things like that, have you seen an improvement in your flexibility by doing that on the football field?
Yes, sir. Certainly. I feel like some things have like it's like becoming more natural. Like for example, in like my throwing motion, it's getting easier to just reach back and come over the top when I'm throwing.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, I also heard you say you are on the track team and you do field events.
Yes, sir.
What field events do you do?
I do all throwing events. I'm currently learning hurling right now.
So you do shot put,
javelin, and discus, sir.
Javelin and discus. Man, that's a pretty aggressive athletic program you got at your school, man, for you to be doing all those things. Now, the shot put and the discus, I can understand, but to even expand it to the javelin, and you're doing all three of those, and now you're attacking hurdles?
Yes, sir.
Man, you are some kind of athlete. Okay. Well, you are a coach's dream because I'm sure they loving you at Heathwood Hall, man, doing that. You're like an Iron Man. What can't you do?
Thank you, sir.
So are those so wrestling, track, and football, those are your primary sports?
Yes, sir. I just started track.
You just started track. Okay. All right. Well, you definitely have embarked on some very interesting sidebar sports. I mean, the wrestling is one thing, but to transition to track in the field events and now to want to even do hurling, is hurling a challenge for you? Because, you know, you got to be kind of brave to attack those hurdles, man. I mean, I see a lot of people, they like to hop over them, but if you're going to do it right, you got to attack the hurdles.
In my opinion, it was kind of scary at first. I thought I would just fall and like trip. But I guess like being flexible kind of helps with that.
Okay.
And yeah, it's really not as scary as it looks, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. So now let's get back to a little football. So now you guys played how many football games this past year?
10, 11, in my opinion. For my memory.
What was your record?
10-1.
You went 10-1.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I like to ask guys about that because, you know, it's an interesting thing how athletes can keep up with their stats. I'm not going to ask you about the yards, but do you know how many touchdowns you threw this past year?
No, sir.
You don't? Okay.
No, sir.
All right. Is mom also your statistician to keep up with your stats? Because it sounds like, you know, along with being your, you know, inspiration to go into wrestling, she might be keeping up with some of those stats. I know she's recording your footage for these video clips.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna talk with mom a little later about her duties because it sounds like she is very on point with everything she's doing to help you become better. So that's a great thing. Let's talk a little bit about being a quarterback. What are some of the important keys to you being a good quarterback, and what are some of the things you're going to work on to be a a better quarterback?
I feel like first off, mentally, you have to be mentally tough as a quarterback.
Okay.
Because if you win, then you're probably going to get all the praise. But if you lose, then you're probably going to be the first one to blame. You also have to be like a good leader and not a dictator. You can't just yell at your teammates or especially at your linemen. You have to uplift them. And you have to be intelligent and quick thinking on the field, since you're the one that, besides the coach, you're the one that controls the field.
Okay. And in being a quick thinker, are there any types of things that you do to improve your processing and your thinking so that you can see and read things and process it quicker during the course of a football game?
I feel like Coach Ramon Robinson has helped me a lot with that, with quick thinking and knowing where to, especially like placement and even like tiny stuff like that.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Coach Robinson. What are some of the things that he has truly emphasized to you, being that he's a former quarterback, to, really make you lock in on what you need to constantly work on so that it becomes second habit to you?
I feel like he constantly tells me to stop double thinking and to stop holding back. He also tells me to open up and loosen up a bit more, to get relaxed so I could stay like calm on the football field. That would certainly help.
Do you feel yourself being kind of tight and, stiff at times on the field that, you need to relax more? Do you feel that when you're playing?
Robotic? Yeah. Sometimes. I feel like that's what I could work on. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned the word robotic, because there's nothing worse than seeing a robotic quarterback that, you can pretty much predict his mechanics. I mean, you see it and it's like, he's so predictable. It's like, he throws a certain way. He's not loose. He's not fluid. And I think that's the thing I'm reaching for is, being robotic keeps you from being fluid. And that's something that definitely will make you a better quarterback, being a fluid guy. So between Coach Robinson and your other trainer, are there any other things that they really point out to you that you should be focusing in on to help you become better?
My opinion, just reaching back and giving it my all whenever I throw. I feel like I'm a bit tight when I throw the ball sometimes.
Okay. Have you done any of the Patrick Mahomes type throws in either the games or in practice, man? Because he is accurate, whether it's over the top or whether it's sidearm. He is accurate. Have that? Are those some of the things you, maybe not with the coaches, but on your own, kind of worked on?
In my own time, I most likely tried it.
And
I don't know if I'm jumping out of bounds and throwing it.
Okay, all right. Well, it doesn't hurt to try some things just to see if you can do them. In your opinion, who are some of the top quarterbacks? And I'm not just talking about pro quarterbacks, but who are some of the top quarterbacks from a skill standpoint that you really like the way they perform?
Does it have to be like on the field or also like off the field?
It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever quarterback you think is a good guy, is based on the way they operate, what they do when they're playing. That's the first thing. Yeah,
I would say Jalen Hurts. I like his like work ethic, the way he talks to his like teammates, the way he like motivates them.
Yeah, he seems to be a real kind of relaxed guy. He doesn't seem to be under pressure. He doesn't put too much pressure on himself. He seems to be a real calm guy. So, okay. Is he your favorite quarterback?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now, what number do you wear in the games, Eli? What's your number?
Number 1, sir.
I kind of walked into that one, didn't I? Okay. So, other than Jalen Hurts, would you say you are a student of the game, Eli, when it comes to just looking at football games and dissecting it and understanding what's going on, would you say you're a student of the game?
Most of the time, yes, sir.
Okay. Do you watch a lot of football on TV?
Mostly whenever Lenore Sellers is playing.
Oh, so you're a big Lenora Sellers fan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And why Lenora Sellers?
It's what he told me after like a day of training, which Coach Ramon, he told me to stop the ball for Lenore's. And I had a conversation with him about not holding back and to trust myself whenever I throw the ball. I think that kind of like motivated me a bit.
Okay. And what was it like to meet a guy like that, to have him tell you some things to just help you improve, being that he's currently one of the top college quarterbacks in America? How did you feel about that?
I was just like shocked, in my opinion, because like he's like a millionaire talking to me.
Okay.
And like for him to like just like pull it out of nowhere and like to motivate me like that's just like crazy.
Okay. Okay. Have you been to any of the South Carolina games to see him in person?
Yes, sir, a few times.
Okay. All right. And what were your thoughts about the way he played when you did go see him?
I feel like he's very calm sometimes. Okay. He's like fluid with his arm motions.
Yeah.
I could like, he reads the field pretty well. And he rolls out. And whenever if he doesn't see it, then he rolls out to see if there's another route open nearby. I noticed that a lot.
Okay. You know, one of the things I noticed about Lenoris is, I guess off the field, you know, when he goes to be just regular college student, man, he's got on his glasses, you know, he kind of looks kind of nerdy, you know. I'm like, okay, but I know he's a sharp guy, but you know, sometimes those things are kind of unexpected. But, and don't you go back and tell him I called him no nerd, because I didn't call him a nerd. But I think he's a fine talent, and I'm pulling for him to be, when it's his time to get to the next level, I pull that he will get there. Did you ever look at Spencer Rattler play when he was at South Carolina?
Is he the second quarterback, the secondary QB?
No, he was at South Carolina about 2 years ago. He plays for the Saints.
No, sir. Can you tell me more about him?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because he left Oklahoma and transferred to South Carolina, and then he got drafted by the Saints. So I was just wondering, being that, you know, you're there in Columbia and watching Columbia, South Carolina rather, play football. Okay. Any other quarterbacks that really grab your attention that you think are outstanding quarterbacks?
Donovan McNabb, in my opinion. He played for the Eagles.
Donovan McNabb? Now, Eli, come on now. Come on. You watched some clips of Donovan McNabb. But that's fine. I mean, because, again, being a student of the game, it's not just about the guys now. You got to know about guys from years gone by. So, okay, Donovan McNabb is an outstanding guy. I mean, yeah, he was pretty sharp. Let me ask you this question. You ever heard of a guy by the name of Steve McNair?
No, sir.
You've never heard of Steve McNair?
No, sir.
Okay, well, that is going to be your homework assignment, to go read up on who Steve McNair was. He's no longer living, but you go read, and he's not, even if he was living now, he wouldn't be an old guy, probably be about the age of Donovan McNabb. But I want you to go find out about Steve Air McNair, played for the Tennessee Titans. I want you to go learn about him, because he was, in my opinion, probably the best quarterback to ever come out of a black college. In his 4 years of playing at Alcorn State, he threw for 14,000 plus yards and 100 and some odd touchdowns. So just so you will know and have the history of some of these guys, because sometimes you can go back and watch his clips, man, and you'll be like, oh my God, I never seen somebody do what he can do. He could run it and he could throw it. But that's going to be your homework assignment, Steve Air McNair. So, but yeah, I'm impressed that you knew about Donovan McNabb. What about Michael Vick?
Michael Vick, yeah, I heard him before.
You heard of him? Okay.
He could run the ball.
What about Cam Newton?
Yes, sir. I met him before.
You met Cam Newton?
Yes, sir. He's tall.
Oh yeah, 6'6". Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. Okay, and oh yeah. I mean, you see that guy, it's like, oh my God. So, and he, took his team to the Super Bowl, Heisman Trophy winner, undefeated season at Auburn. He could do it all, man. And yeah, he's one of the top quarterbacks that I've ever seen too. So yeah, it's quite a few guys that have done some things. So yeah, that's good to know, because again, you as a young man, again, finding out about some of these guys is important. Now let me ask you this: how did you find out about our organization, Quarterfied Back?
Because Coach Ramon was featured there.
Oh, well, we got to give him some props, and we really want to thank him, because, man, for him to, bring you into the fold like that, hey, that's a great thing, man, because we are always excited about talking to young men like yourself. We've had an opportunity to meet quite a few middle school guys who are rising quarterbacks. So absolutely. So you say you haven't really thought about going to the next level of high school wise. What are some of the things also as you look at being a better quarterback? Let's talk a little bit about confidence, because we've got a segment called Psyched Up, and our mental performance specialist, Dr. William Kitchings Jr., will be coming on to talk about that. Talk a little bit about confidence and what it means to you, and how you work on becoming a more confident football player.
I feel like you really just have to open up, be you. Like, try have a short-term memory. If you throw an interception, then do better next time.
Yeah.
Just keep getting back up over and over again. I feel like that's what it means to be confident. Like, just don't let your emotions have control over you.
Okay. Do you find it difficult to, brush off an interception or a bad play and get back in the game, or do it kind of stays with you for a series or two before you kind of get back into the ball game?
Well, I mean, throwing an interception sucks, but you gotta get over it eventually at some point.
Okay. And in big ball games, do you think and thinking about some of the big ball games you may have played this past year, do you think you can sometimes put too much pressure on yourself to perform well?
Yes, sir. Sometimes.
And how do you what do you do to kind of calm yourself down so you don't, have that kind of anxiety that just so tight? What are some of do you listen to music before games?
I just stretch a bit, take deep breaths, talk with my teammates, because really it's just another game. You're gonna play another game again and again, so it's not that big of a deal. But still, try to do your best, in my opinion.
Okay. And are your teammates supportive of you if you make a mistake? They come over to you and say, "Shake it off, Eli. We'll get the next one."
Yes, sir. They're supportive.
All right. Well, very good. Well, we're going to take a timeout right now and do our commercial break, and then bring you our segment called Psyched Up. I want you to just check out the segment, so when we come back, we can talk a little about that. But we're going to take our break now, and we'll come back in about 2 or 3 minutes. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Eli. Our guest tonight from Heathwood Hall, Episcopal School in Columbia, South Carolina, Mr. Eli Mosby, rising 2031 quarterback. Let me tell you, we got our eyes on him already. Our radar is already locked and loaded on him, and we're going to keep up with him as the years go on. But before we do that, we're going to give you first our taste of our merchandise. I want you to know that April is Masters Month, and we're running a special right now for our merchandise. We now have our hoodie and our t-shirts available for you. If you should buy a t-shirt, you will get a ball marker for golf. If you buy a hoodie, you'll get a sleeve of balls with our logo on it. If you buy both, you will be getting our quarter-5 back flask to put your favorite beverage in so that you can stay hydrated on the course while also hyping up who you support and letting folks know about quarter-5 back. Go to our website at quarter5back.com, click on the store icon and put your order in for our logo t-shirt or our logo hoodie and get yours now. Take advantage of our April special where you can get some additional merchandise just by ordering one of these items. Once again, quarter5back.com, click on the store icon and you can get our fantastic hoodie or our fantastic t-shirt also that you can promote and rep quarter-5 back. Also in our store, you can get a copy of my book, The Forgotten QBs, the little known history, information, and statistics about Black quarterbacks in American college football. This book dates back to 1903 to 1990, highlighting some of the most phenomenal quarterbacks with their short bios, some statistics on some of the outstanding work a lot of these quarterbacks have done both at the power colleges and the HBCUs. So it is full of information. And if you are truly a student of the game, if you are into quarterbacks, you want to know some things about who has done whatever, hey, go to the store and click on the book, audio book. I will autograph it for you and make sure you get your copy of my book, The Forgotten QBs. All of these things are found on our store at our website at quarter5back.com. Now, we're going to let you hear from our resident mental performance specialist, Dr. William Kitchings Jr., with this week's Psyched Up.
You've done the work, you've prepared, and then the moment arrives and it still doesn't feel the way you expected. That's not a confidence problem, that's a focus problem. And knowing the difference changes everything. I'm Dr. William Kitchings Jr., and this is Psyched Up. Last session, we talked about how confidence is built through specific, repeatable preparation that gives your mind something real to trust. But here's what most athletes don't account for. Even well-prepared athletes experience doubt under pressure. Not because their preparation failed, but because pressure shifts attention away from execution and towards consequences. Research in attentional control theory shows that anxiety under pressure doesn't eliminate skill. It redirects attention. When focus moves towards outcome or evaluation, cognitive efficiency drops and execution becomes inconsistent. The prepared athlete and the struggling athlete often have the same prep. The difference is where attention goes when the stakes rise. That is why confidence under pressure isn't about feeling ready. It's about staying task-focused when your mind wants to drift towards the result. Research on pre-performance routines in elite sport shows that athletes who use structured behavioral cues before executing, a breath, a focal point, a physical reset, are more consistent at directing attention back to execution-relevant information. Not because the routine is magic, but because the routine is practice. It becomes the on-ramp back to focus. Before your next high-pressure rep, whether that's a drill, a scrimmage, or a live game situation, build a two-step attention anchor. First, a reset cue you own completely, a breath, a tap, a specific movement. Second, one task-specific execution cue. Not a motivational phrase, something like footwork first, or eyes to the target. The physical cue closes the door on consequence thinking. The execution cue opens the door to performance. That sequence is trainable, but it has to be built deliberately in low-stakes environments before it holds in high-stake ones. That's where the real work happens. Confidence under pressure isn't a feeling you summon. It's an attention skill you train. Direct your focus deliberately and let execution confirm what preparation already built. I'm Dr. William Kitchings Jr., and this is Psyched Up, a space built for the moments behind the moments.
Well, once again, Dr. William Kitchings Jr. delivering some very, very important, needed information on becoming better at task and confidence. So we're going to welcome back my guest for our show tonight from Heathwood Hall, Episcopal High School in Columbia, South Carolina. Please welcome back to the Post Route, Eli Mosby. Eli, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
So Dr. Kitchings talked about confidence. Is there a particular routine or something you do before a big game or a big play to help you stay focused and locked in to getting your task accomplished? Is there any type of routines or anything like that you do?
I feel like it just kind of let my mind sit for a moment, where I don't try to do any physical activity. I just let my mind calm down and rest for a moment, and then I'm just back in.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, now we talked about the extra things you do at school, but what kinds of things do you do to relax and have fun, Eli?
Take hot showers, play with my cat and dog. Really just what any other person would do, in my opinion.
You got some hobbies?
Yes, sir.
No hobbies? What kind of hobbies you got?
Sports, obviously. Art. That's pretty much it, I think.
So you're telling me that you don't play any of the video games that they make every kid play in this day and time? You want me to believe you don't play on those games?
Yes, sir. I do play games.
Okay. You got Madden games?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your favorite team in the Madden games is what team?
Eagles.
Okay. How well did you do with your Madden team this year?
I got Madden 19, but in Madden 19, the Philadelphia Eagles, all of them have high stats in that game.
Okay. Well, it's an interesting thing because in your era, in your time, playing video games is kind of, what guys do. When I was coming up, man, you had to go outside and perfect your skills. There were no games on TV. So relating to going outside and working out compared to just being on the TV, which would be most critically important to you?
Going outside.
Okay. Now you mentioned your trainers, your quarterback trainers, Coach Robinson, and your other quarterback trainer. How often do you train with them?
I try to train with my quarterback coach at least around 5 times every month.
Okay. And are those on the weekends or those on weekdays?
Weekends, sir. Usually Sunday.
Usually Sundays. And how much time do you guys spend together?
An hour or two. 2 hours.
An hour or two. Okay. All right. And do you have any of your favorite receivers, or do they kind of provide receivers for you to work out with at these training sessions?
Usually the receivers that are there are just my friends at Heathwood, my receivers at Heathwood.
Okay. All right. And who is your favorite receiver at Heathwood?
Seabass.
Okay. Was that the guy who went deep and was catching the ball over his shoulder and everything?
That was for my travel team.
Oh, that was
majority of the time he catches the ball for Heathwood.
Okay. Okay. Now, what's your favorite pass route in a game? When the coach dials that one up, you know you're gonna be on point. What's your favorite?
Hail Mary.
Hail Mary. Okay. What about those hard throws? What would you consider to be one of the hardest throws you have to make in playing a football game?
I would have to say, like with multiple routes, sir.
Okay, multiple routes. Okay.
Like a post route, an out route, and a dig, because you really have to move your eyes up and down the field quickly to see which one's the best option.
Okay.
Like usually routes have a long and short option.
Right. Okay. And in game situations, what have been some of the things that you find yourself not doing the best job at, even though you've practiced it?
I feel like just getting like tight and robotic and not like staying loose during the game. Even though I like worked on that, I feel like that's something that still happens a lot when I'm under pressure.
Do you think the pressure causes that, or is just you're not relaxed, or what do you think causes you to be tight like that?
I think the pressure causes me to be that. I like get in my head. It's usually when I don't like take a breath or anything. I just like rush through the play.
Okay. Now, I know your coaches and your trainers have taught you the importance of progressions. Is that something that you really are good at doing, or is that something you are still working to be better at? Because when I look at some quarterbacks, when they lock in on one guy, it's like, man, we know where you're throwing the football because you locked in on him as soon as you got up there, as opposed to he's covered, second progression, third progression, fourth progression. Is that something that you've gotten comfortable with, or is something that you know you got to get better at?
I feel like I'm pretty good at progressions, but I'm not like consistent with it, in my opinion.
And consistency is the challenging part, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do Coach Ramon talk to you about being consistent in your progressions?
Yes, sir.
And what does he tell you? I mean, when y'all are having y'all sessions and talking about things, what does he really tell you about how to overcome that?
For me, I kind of just like simplify it, read left to right, highest to lowest routes.
Okay. All right. Very good. So, being that you are this quarterback and this leader, how have you felt about being the leader of the team? How does that make you feel? What responsibilities has that added to your being a quarterback? What do you think about being a leader?
I feel like I always have to keep my emotions in check because, like, if let's say that I wasn't the leader and like I just saw my quarterback just like getting all like mad, all like negative and stuff, like how would that motivate me in like any way? It would make me feel like I'm about to like lose the game. So I feel like just like really have to stay like uplifting all the time and confident.
Okay. Well, you know, being that leader is, you know, everybody's looking at you, everybody's got their eyes on you, and the expectation is for you to be better than everybody else. Would you agree with that? Not necessarily performance-wise, but just mentally, their expectation is for you to stay calm, you to be cool, you to do the things necessary to keep the team relaxed and calm. Because if you lose it, everybody's going to lose it.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I know you're continually walking and working on those things, but let me tell you, man, I think you are quite a guy. You know, we're getting some chats in our chat room about who you are and things like that. So a lot of people support you. Who's your biggest supporter?
I don't do favorites, Coach. My mom.
Okay, I was getting ready to say, man, you better do that favorite. Your mom is your biggest fan, eh? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
so
sir.
now, do you and your mom have kind of talks after games about the way you performed or things like that? Do y'all talk?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I know your mom is in the service, so What kind of things does she say to you to maybe help you, stay focused and balanced?
I feel like to like not take opportunities for granted, to be thankful for like what I have and like the opportunity to just even like play football and like step on the field.
Okay. Well, those are some good things. Well, whenever I have an opportunity to bring the parents into our sessions, man, or bring them on the show, I have to bring them on. So, is your mom close by?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell her to stick her head in. Come on, Miss Mosby, come on in here.
Hi.
How are you this evening, ma'am?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so very much for making this opportunity happen for Eli. Let me also say, ma'am, thank you very much for your military service to our country. We are thankful for you and continue to be safe and do the great job that you've been doing.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
for
ma'am.
having him.
Well, we're excited about him. I didn't know he was the big guy that he is, because when sometimes we look at middle school guys, you think they're pretty small, but that's not the case with this guy.
No, he's pretty big. He's been
Ms.
growing.
Mosby, does he stay in your refrigerator?
He does. He does. Look at him.
He talking about no, man. Hey, Eli, hey man, I already know, man. You in the refrigerator, man. Y'all got such a bond. Ms. Mosby, if I may ask, ma'am, how long have you been in the service, and what branch do you serve?
I'm in the Army, and I've been in the Army for 20 years.
Oh my goodness. And what's your rank?
I'm a Master Sergeant.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So now tell me how you got and convinced him to go into wrestling. I'm curious.
I just felt like he needed to do something. I like to keep him busy, and I like when kids play different, like multiple sports, because I feel like it can help your other sports. So his football team actually they started up a wrestling program.
Okay.
So one day I just said, hey, you want to try it, just to see how he felt? And I said, let me know if you like it. And he liked it, and he stuck with it.
I mean, there was no resistance from him when you just offered wrestling. He was like, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, like I said, I have not had, most of the quarterbacks we talk to, they'll say, yeah, basketball, baseball. Some will say track, not wrestling. So not only is he working on his agility and his strength, that's why I asked him, does he, and he's so humble, like, no, sir, I don't truck anybody. But it's like, okay, man, I hear you. I hear you, but I know better, because it's like, if you got a trucker guy standing in your way, okay. So that is great. Well, I'm proud of him, and I'm proud of you for encouraging him to do that, because a lot of guys won't really go into wrestling. That's not the norm. So yeah, that's great.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So I was asking him about the type of things you and he talk about after his performances on the football field. So I want to hear from the mom side. What are some of the things you try to emphasize to him as being an athlete and a leader?
I think my mentality has changed as I've grown as a parent.
Okay.
I think that I've allowed myself to, like, sometimes I just don't say anything. But there are times to, wait and then have a discussion. How did you feel? What was going through your mind? But at the end of the day, I feel like it's him. Where are you at mentally? How are you feeling mentally? Yeah. Because if they're not feeling good mentally, they're not going to play well.
Absolutely.
So I kind of just gauge how he's feeling, ask him how he's doing, because the big thing that he likes to do after he plays, he likes to eat. So that's kind of our time to cool down or just relax, and then have a discussion about the good things that he did and things he would like to improve on.
Okay. So Eli, what's your favorite meal in your menu, man? I mean, what do you like mom to fix you that you really, man, nothing is left on the plate? What's that?
She makes me a 5-star steak with like chicken on the side and salad, sir.
A 5-star steak and chicken. Woo,
Yes, sir.
man. Yeah, you in the refrigerator, man. Y'all got a real bond. Well, I take it by you saying that mom is a great cook. You don't look like you miss too many meals.
He doesn't.
He doesn't, right? Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. I mean, yeah, a 5-star steak and chicken. Okay, buddy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Miss Mosby, do you kind of watch his intake of the types of things he's eating and drinking to make sure that he stays balanced from an athletic perspective?
I do. I don't necessarily restrict. I've noticed that what really helped him too was wrestling.
Okay.
And I don't like him to cut. That's not my thing. I don't like the cutting. But what I noticed was he was making better choices on his own. And that may have been from what he learned at practice, from his peers or his coaches. But he's actually been, his palate has been, he's been opening up to new things.
Okay.
So when he asked me the other day, he asked for peppers, like just different color peppers.
Like bell peppers?
Bell peppers.
Okay.
So we were in the car and I went straight to the store, got him some peppers because I felt like, okay, he's never asked this. Let's see where it goes. And he's just been eating peppers, like just peppers. So I try to just watch I do watch what he eats, but I'm not restrictive.
Gotcha. Now, Eli, I always like to ask this question too, man, because you know you've already just impressed me with. I got to ask somebody, man, what is a 5-star steak? I'm gonna ask my sons about that. But when it comes to the favorite food item on the menu called dessert, what's your favorite dessert?
Cinnamon rolls, sir, and ice cream.
Cinnamon rolls and ice cream. Okay. Like Cinnabon?
Yes, sir.
I knew it. Yeah, okay. And what flavor ice cream?
I have to say chocolate brownie.
It's not any?
Chocolate brownie,
Your favorite
sir.
flavor is not any?
No, sir.
Any flavor? It don't matter?
Any flavor.
Hey, man, well, you know, a young growing fella like yourself, man, definitely got to have a good appetite. Man, we got so many people chatting it up tonight. The Zimmermans, Mike, Coach Reggie here, he's saying he's in. A couple other people are saying, man, they're checking you out tonight. So, man, we thank all of them for tuning into the show. So, before you go and before we get to the best part of the show, any questions you got for me? Because I always like to give people an opportunity to ask me questions because I'm always asking the questions. You got any questions for me?
I'll have to say, like, what would be the most, like, what was the most surprising thing you learned about, like, the evolution, like, historically about Black quarterbacks so far?
That's an excellent question.
Thank you, sir.
The one thing I would have to say is the fact that I did not know about some of the quarterbacks who played at some of the colleges back in the 40s and 50s. Growing up in a Black household and both parents going to a Black college, it was nothing for me to see Black quarterbacks on Saturdays when we attended football games at Florida A&M University. So I was always around that part of it, but to not know about some of the guys who other guys are standing on the shoulders of, who played back at schools like Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan State, and knowing that there were guys who were playing for these schools back in the 50s, in the 60s, but they weren't ever heard about. That has been one of the most eye-opening things for me. And that was the reason why I wrote the book. And that's the reason why we do what we do on Quarterfied Back, because their legacies are the shoulders that other guys and you stand on today, because had it not been for them, where would a lot of black quarterbacks be? So that has been one of the most revealing things for me. And I'm proud and honored to be able to carry the mantle to make sure that young men like yourself know the history. That's why I gave you Steve McNair, know the history of black quarterbacks and what they've contributed, because a lot of times they've been minimized and folks don't want you to know who they are and what they did. So that's where I've been with this. And thank you so very much for such an astute question, because that definitely gives me an opportunity to talk about the history, man. So yeah, and that's why I'm glad I gave you your homework assignment on Steve Air McNair. So don't think I'm not gonna check back with you to find out if you did your homework now, because I know I got my number one backup teacher right there sitting next to you, and she'll probably be like, "Did you do Mr. Kitchings' assignment? You need to find out who Steve McNair was." Yeah, I know how this goes. Yeah, I know you're laughing, but it's all good. But yeah, that's where we are, man. So yeah, it's good. So like I said, Coach Robinson is a part of what we're doing, and anybody he turns us on to, man, we're always happy to have him to join us and be a part of what we're doing. So again, thank you. So Ms. Mosby, this is my favorite part of the show, because it is now at this particular point in time where we tell our guests who are come on that by you coming on the show tonight, Eli Mosby, you are now a member of the brotherhood called Quarterfive Back, the fraternity of black quarterbacks. Welcome to the brotherhood, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
And with that, what we will now do is you will get on the email, you will get your letter of induction. You will get your lifetime membership certificate so that you will forever and always be a member of our organizations. You can now go back and tell, when you see Coach Ramon again, and next time just say, "Hey, what's going on, frat?" Say, "Coach Ramon, what's up, frat?" To see how he responds, since he put you in this. And we will also send you a gift packet of some items. One especially would include your own lapel pin. So when you're out and about, you can represent the fraternity and tell people the story about black quarterbacks. So welcome to the brotherhood, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Very good. Well, hey, man, it has been a phenomenal night talking with you. You have been one of the most impressive guests we've had for your age group, and I am just extremely thankful that you were able to follow us and get on. Again, Ms. Mosby, thank you so much for allowing this to be a part of what we're doing, and may God continue to bless both of you as you go down this path, and especially you, ma'am, as you continue to serve our country.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We're going to wrap it up here, but I need you to do one thing. When we go off the air, stay on online, because I need to get the address so I can make sure I get your packages out to you. So even after I close, we're going to come back. So stay on the line, and we'll get back to you as soon as I close this out. All right?
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. All right. Very good. Well, we've done it again. Another show is in the books, and we'd like to thank our guest tonight, our newest fraternal brother, Mr. Eli Mosby from Heathwood Hall in Columbia, South Carolina. Well, until next Monday night, we'd like to tell you, hey, join us for another exciting show. Thank our staff for doing their part. And as we say on every show as we close, hey, go deep and go for the bomb. We see you guys next Monday night. Take care.